have a thrift store book haul today. I'm Jenny Fern. Welcome to my library. I'm a chaotic neutral mechanical engineer who's really into permaculture and wants to talk about books. So let's talk about books. This is my big stack. I went to a thrift store quickly, got a couple of clothing items. I got this super small little summer shirt. And I also got some patterned jeans that I'm pretty excited about. I feel like they're weird enough for me to feel happy about it, and also like neutral enough to be able to wear to work. So that'll be fun to I mix patterns a lot, so it'll be fun to see what I do with that. Anyway, the books that I have. I'm just gonna go through them. I'm gonna go through them all quickly. Love in a Cold Climate by Nancy Mitford. I've never heard of this, but the title really caught my eye. Let's see. Nancy Mitford has written several novels, of which her most recent are Love in a Cold Climate and The Blessing, and has edited 2 books of Victorian letters. I did also see that, and I thought that was really interesting. I don't know, this isn't really saying anything about what this is about. Oh, okay, so this has a lot of characters that occurred in her earlier book, The Pursuit of Love. So anyway, I don't really know that much, but I picked it up. Oh, I also picked up this book, Citizen Scientist, Searching for Heroes and Hope in an Age of Extinction. I'm a big proponent of citizen science. One of my absolute favorite books that I've read in recent years was The Ways of a Mud Dauber by George D. Schaefer, who was a professor at Stanford. And the book is basically like weird hobby experiments about mud dauber wasps, and I found it extremely inspiring. Even though he was a professor and everything, it was inspiring to me to pursue citizen science. So I hope this will give me more ideas as well. It's a chunky, modern book, and this is by Mary Ellen Hannibal. I got a Herman Hesse. I got The Journey to the East. I still haven't read any Herman Hesse before, but I don't know, I saw this and I felt like it would be a good starting point just because it's quite short. Herman Hesse is generally regarded as one of the great masters of the novel. A true innovator, Hesse, whose roots are in the Romantic tradition, developed a style of writing completely his own. Journey to the East is the story of a pilgrimage which apparently fails. As the book opens, the hero finds himself engaged in writing the chronicle of this exciting adventure, which was the central experience in his youth. Definitely interested in that. Oh, I am absolutely thrilled to have found this book. I feel like my cat has already bitten the cover. A cat, whether it's my own or somebody else's, has definitely. But that's A High Wind in Jamaica by Richard Hughes. I talked about this book at the beginning of the year because it recently entered the public domain. And I got a lot of comments about people saying that this was like one of their favorite stories or movies or whatever. The dreamlike action of this masterpiece of concentrated narrative begins among the decayed plantation houses and overwhelming natural abundance of the late 19th century Jamaica. It then moves on to the high seas as Richard Hughes tells the story of a group of children accidentally thrown upon the mercy of a crew of down-at-the-heel pirates, a tale of seduction and betrayal, of accommodation and manipulation, of weird humor and unforeseen violence. This classic of the 20th century literature is unequaled exploration of the nature and limits of innocence. Throwing books on the ground is my hobby. I also got something that I'm so interested and excited about. I got Isaac Asimov, The Universe, From Flat Earth to Quasar. This is nonfiction science work, beginning with man's narrow view of a patch of flat Earth. The renowned science writer Isaac Asimov traces the steps by which our grasp of the universe has broadened and deepened to its present state. Now man pictures an expanse 26 billion light years in diameter and approaches the realization of his ancient dream of conquering all of it. So whenever I'm into something dense and sciencey, I will have this. I've definitely enjoyed Asimov's fiction writing, so perhaps I will also enjoy his nonfiction writing. Oh, okay. Now I got something absolutely bizarre. Okay. It's also got like some schmutz on it, so I gotta clean it off, but I got Footfall by Larry Niven and Jerry Pournelle. I've never heard of this, but I have read Larry Niven before with, is it Ringworld? Is that what it's called? Yes, I have read Ringworld by Larry Niven, and I can't say I mean, I didn't purchase it, so I read it from my library and I didn't go out and get it, but the cover, I just want to, like, explore this. We've got some sort of elephant creature holding a hand mirror and a gun. A gun is being held by an elephant. I don't regret it. Not yet, anyway. And then I have two older books that were a little bit more expensive. All of these were either $1 or $2 if it was a paperback or hardcover. And then these were $4, I think, because they're vintage. I got The Memoirs of a Physician. Memoirs of a Physician by, oh god, Dumas. Alexandre Dumas, I guess. This is a sequel to Joseph Balsamo. Hopefully it is actually about a physician. That is what I want. I do want, like, physician stuff. That's what I'm looking for. Hopefully this is that. And yes, it's quite old. I actually don't know how old this is. It's not really in great condition, but it's not in poor condition either. Does this not have a copyright page? The only thing that I see on this that, like, makes any sense for being a copyright page says 1903, which, that seems really, really old. But yes, the spine definitely has some damage. You can't read it anymore. And then, super, super excited about this because this is Early American Gardeners for Meat or Medicine by Leighton. I don't know what meat means in this context. And then this is from 1970, so quite a bit younger. I'm so excited to learn about different plants and stuff. This has like a lot of just some of the coolest stuff, like bloodroot, betony, bouncing bet soapwort. Never heard of that before. So I'm extremely excited to learn about all of these. So that's that. And we ran through these really quickly. That is my thrift store book haul. I guess, you know what, because that was so quick, let me tack on some books that I've just gotten from the internet. I went out of my way to purchase these. We'll do a quick additional haul. So there were a few books that I've been really wanting to have because I read them either from my library or through the public domain, and I really wanted to be able to own them and have the physical object in my home. I got Glowrushes by Roberto Pumini. This is a very short and sweet middle grade book. It's about a child, and it's got such imaginative world building for children, but very, very much could be fully enjoyed by an adult. It is about a boy who is ill, and his father hires an artist to paint a mural in his bedroom. I picked up volume 1 of Frieren. I really, really like Frieren. It is a manga series that features an elf who has a long lifespan. She went on a very important travels. She went on an important mission as a young elf, or a younger elf, with this traveling party, and they all die of old age, and she's still exactly the same as she was before in terms of like physical appearance and life, and she continues on their mission to really solidly finish what they started with a new batch of traveling members. And yeah, I love the themes of this one. Oh, actually I should say, this is by Kanehiro Yamada with the art by Tsukasa Abe. Now, Moon of the Crusted Snow by Wabgisha Rice is a post-apocalyptic / apocalyptic tale set on a reservation in Canada with First Nations folks in Canada. And I loved, like, if just saying the plot of this book, I wouldn't assume that this would connect a lot with me, but it really did, and I really loved this story. It just felt so, like, comforting, even though it's so cold and so harsh. Something about it was very comforting to me. Walking Practice by Dolki Min is also very short. This is told from an alien's perspective. We're following an alien who can adjust appearance to look human and has found the only way to survive on this planet Earth is to consume human meat. And so they're in like this predatory mode, and I loved the exploration of this alien body, exploration of gender and alienation. Really one of my favorite things that I read recently. I thought it was so good. This book here. I also picked up a copy of Strange Interlude by Eugene O'Neill. This is a very long experimental play that really goes into internal monologues. It's a very people-heavy, focusing on this character Nina and a handful of men who orbit around her and her family. Her lover, her like high school sweetheart kind of guy, he dies in the war, and she is left just kind of broken after that, and we follow her through her young adult life. And I can't remember how old she gets, but we follow her for quite a long time. So that rounds out all of the books that I've recently acquired. I need to get on to reading some of them because I'm trying not to completely overrun my bookshelves. And I will swivel this camera around so that you can see all my unread books. It's too many. So these are my unread books, and I will need to put what I just bought away in there somewhere. So I made choices today. Anyway, if you enjoyed this, please consider sharing it with a friend who you think would also enjoy it. Consider liking and subscribing, and I will be back again soon.